Hello, welcome to your December end of the year readings. This video will be split into two parts, a reflection and a forecast. The first part will be a reflection of 2016 and how it has impacted you as a whole, and the second part will be focusing on what is ahead for the month of December. Reflection is an important part of our lives because even in tarot, hindsight is always 2020. Actually, drawing a card in the morning and seeing how it played out by the end of the day can show how the card was relevant, but may have expressed itself in a different way than you had anticipated, which is a great tool, by the way, for learning tarot prediction and getting familiar with how many ways a single card can be read. Anyway, 2016 was the year of the Yang fire monkey, and I have my little friend here who visually represents that energy. Yang energy is masculine, it's outwardly extroverted, it's dynamic and bold. Fire energy is passionate and enterprising. So Yang fire is like the heat of the sun. It has lots of energy and it radiates to other people in forms of optimism, generosity, and warmth. Its popularity may have been a year for big personalities and or big egos to shine. So this year we would have seen things politically and socially to reflect this, and it would also have drawn out these characteristics in our personal lives as well. Monkey energy acts similarly to Yang fire. It is quick, clever, social, busy, cheerful, and playful, impulsive, and again, it's independent. I really wouldn't be surprised if many of you watching had taken up several new hobbies, several new studies, joined multiple social groups, made many new acquaintances, expanded your business in some way, broadened your talents and interests, or possibly moved, because Yang fire monkey doesn't sit still for long. And just like the monkey, you could have been bouncing around from one thing to the next with both of your hands in many pots at once. So for the moments of reflection reading, I am going to ask, what is the biggest lesson for you? What was the highlight? What was the biggest challenge? And how did you grow this year? And then finally, I'm going to ask, what lesson will you take with you into 2017? Hello, Leo. For your 2016 reflection reading, I will be drawing cards from the Archangel Power Tarot deck. So I'm going to be focusing on what was your biggest lesson, what was the brightest highlight, what was the biggest challenge, how did you grow, and what lesson will you be taking with you into 2017? Okay. Show me, Leo. Okay. Okay, so I'm seeing primarily swords and cups. So thoughts and emotions. Okay, decisions and relationships. That's the broad sweeping themes here. So the biggest lesson for you was lessons about worry. Okay, so the Nine of Swords is about overthinking things, letting things really get to you, letting the details of life that you cannot control consume you. Okay, and I see you worrying about like lack. Okay, like I might not get what I want or have my needs met. So this was the biggest lesson for you, was to overcome this and sort of like let go and let God, so to speak. But really just like giving up this attachment to a certain way of thinking that was making you miserable. Okay. And I see that also, let's see, seeing an owl in the picture as well. So it's like listening to like wisdom versus listening to like all of the the thoughts that are just ruminating around in your mind. So the card says your worry is unnecessary. Focus your thoughts on the outcome you desire. Release feelings of regret, guilt, worry to your angels. Okay. So again, we have like the letting go and letting God, right? So detachment was the biggest lesson for you. What was the brightest highlight is the Page of Michael. Okay, so this is a really good card for clarity of thought. Okay. You have all of these swords here, and then you're holding a sword here. So sometimes I feel like you were in control of the way that you were thinking, and you had like a realization like, no, I'm choosing something different. Okay. And other times you kind of reverted back into this worry situation, or something that you can't control. But I see you flying a kite, so it's like there's an idea that's taking off into the air, and this is a highlight for you. Again, here's the owl. So you may have really been very in close communication with like a spirit guide, or someone who is like living and present in their incarnated body as like someone who's older and wiser that you listened to, and they really guided you through some troubling times. This may have been a really difficult year for a lot of you Leos out there, and maybe some of you are just really wanting to be free in your thoughts and move forward. But the biggest highlight for you I see was like imagination, your thoughts really taking off the ground. Okay, communication. These days it has to do with like online projects and things like that, but being focused. Okay, and there's like a freedom here, freedom of the way of thinking. Okay, so it says an exciting new challenge. You have what it takes to succeed. Review contracts or documents very thoroughly. Okay, so there could have been an exciting contract that you signed this year, or some sort of document that had some sort of great news in it. And that was like the biggest highlight for you, where you're feeling grounded and you're also feeling like things are taking off. Okay, so the biggest challenge was the Ten of Cups. Okay, so this is a card about like everything is wonderful, everything is brilliant, fantastic, no problem here, that sort of thing. Ten of Cups is also about emotional security, people around you emotionally supporting you. So if this was the biggest challenge, maybe some of you felt like you weren't being emotionally supported, or you didn't have the support that you wanted and needed. And it kind of goes in with this biggest lesson for you is like learning to put on the rose-colored glasses. If things aren't exactly the way that you want and they're out of your control, what beauty can you see in it? Okay, where is the rainbow in the storm? Okay, so that was the biggest challenge for you. It says, love and blessings for your life, harmonious relationships with family members, happily ever after. Okay, so also the biggest challenge may have been like a fantasy that, you know, wasn't a reality, or you're worried that this sort of hope or wish or dream or this fantasy that you have for pure bliss and happiness isn't coming to fruition and never will. That's the biggest lesson for you, is like to overcome that. Okay, how did you grow? The Nine of Cups. Okay, so this is all about like, okay, it is about wishes being fulfilled. It is the wish card, okay? It's also about like being careful what you wish for, is what I'm hearing, like oddly enough. So how did you grow? Okay. I feel like you grew in letting go of some of the desires that were causing you suffering, because this is a card about desires and pleasure, and this is the antithesis of that, and they're both nines, so it feels like it's matured in its energy. Something has come to culmination, okay, with the nines. They're endings, okay? So here we have detachment, and here we have desire. Desire is the root of all suffering, okay? Wanting something that you don't have versus wanting something that you do have. So the things that you have around you, appreciating them and wanting those things instead of seeing what is missing from it, okay? So that's how you grew this year, was really understanding your desires and how they may have brought you some suffering, okay? Which is interesting about this is that it's very kind of like, I don't know, it's like, what's the word I'm looking for? Balanced, harmonious, symmetrical. There's something with like the 2 greens, the 2 cups, the 2 blues. You've got the 2 nines. And then you've got the 2 pages, because the shadow card, what you will be bringing in with you for 2017 is the Page of Fire. Okay, so this has to do with messages. It has to do with listening to spirit, listening to your spirit and being guided and acting upon that, trusting your instincts and your intuitions and just doing it, not hesitating. Okay. So never will there be a right time. The timing is never going to be perfect. So it's like acting upon that impulse and just knowing like, I'm being guided, I'm going to do it. Okay, I'm not going to second guess myself. I'm not going to go, oh my God, what if? This is the what if game. So not playing, having like taking the time to really review your biggest fears of like, what would happen if I followed my dreams? No. So here it's like, you're getting the inspiration, you're following it, you're being guided. And again, I was seeing like the owls here, which is about like a, you know, a wise old person, could be a spirit guide, but you're seeing the signs, okay? And that's what you're going to be bringing in with you is into 2017, is maybe like seeing the signs or having some sort of like awakening to like your psychic intuition, okay, or strengthening that in some way. So it says, energetic, brave, optimistic, playful, follow your passion. You are ready for any challenge, opportunities for excitement and adventure. Okay. This seems very promising for 2017. If a lot of you Leos out there had a very challenging or difficult year, maybe there was some disappointments in your relationships or with other people, you feel like you weren't supported. It looks like there's a lot more positivity to come at the end of 2017, at the end of 2016, that you're going to be bringing into 2017. So see, December is like, there's the light here at the end of the tunnel. Okay. So this is what I see for you, Leos, for your review for 2016. Hopefully some of this resonated with you. I'm going to be doing your December monthly intuitive reading with the Wheel of Change tarot deck here. And I'm also going to pull a card from the Lover's Oracle deck that will give you like a simple and concise message to meditate on. They're simple and profound, I have found. Wow. Okay, Dr. Seuss. Okay, so show me December for Leos. Okay. Okay. So here's your focus. Here's the center. You have the Prince of Discs. Okay, there's like this song that I'm hearing. I don't know who it is, like by Journey, or maybe it's by Journey. It's a wheel in the sky keeps on turning. There's a mystery, like, of what tomorrow brings. The second part is that it's like, I don't know where I'll be tomorrow. I don't feel like singing for you. I'm sorry. Okay. I don't know. Okay. But anyway, back to the message here. So there is like maybe some change here And there is a little bit of uncertainty of what the future has for you. And you actually have like a grip on it. Even though it's uncertain, I feel like you are more in control than what you're thinking or feeling here. Okay? So this is also a card of really like learning some valuable lessons, okay? Because this is like the student card, and you're implementing what you've learned. You're putting into practice those things. They weren't just, things that you learned and like you're just moving on. You're actually using those things to help you move forward. I feel like there's like a skill set that you have learned this year that was very important, and you're using that in December. Okay, so your foundation is the Queen of Discs, the Queen of Pentacles, basically. You have like 3 Pentacles cards here and 2 Cups. So in December, I think that things are going to be getting a little bit more grounded and better for you. Than the whole year may have been somewhat challenging. There could have been slices of time where it was more like positive, but December, it looks like things are going to be a little bit more grounded. Okay, so less up in the air. And this is the Queen of Discs is the Queen of Pentacles. She is nurturing, she is caring, she is like the mother type energy. You're mothering yourself, you're nurturing yourself, and you're also doing that for other people. And I see, like, since she's like the mother, there's like the family around you. And there's like different fruits and vegetables around here, some chickens, like it looks like a farm. It's like grassroots sort of energy around you. That's your foundation, is like nature. This is like a Taurus card, which is very like in tune with like the practical things, the tangible things, right? Nature, things that nature produces. Production. Okay. You could be actually creating something of value for yourself that will either give you money or move your business forward in some way. In the past, I have the Knight of Cups, okay, which is this sort of Piscean, sort of spiritual energy. It's like for the good of the whole, the welfare of all, being very generous and nurturing everyone. So if you're like just not just mothering yourself, but mothering everyone. But I'm also seeing this as like the lover, okay? It's the romancer. It's the person that has caught your attention, somebody that you may have been interested in, or maybe they're interested in you. It's in the past position, but it's also still in the reading, so I feel like it's still influencing you in some way. Okay. I'm also really being drawn to this image here of him like playing the saxophone, of playing music. Okay, so like some jazz sort of music, but just the musical ability. Pisces is a very musical sign as well, artistic and musical, has a knack for that, a talent for creating art and creating music. So there's something to do with music in your past that's still applicable to now. Okay, let's move forward. So your thoughts are on what's really going to make you happy. What's going to bring you contentment and joy in life? There's a saying about what you think about is what you bring about. And I use that in my reading. So this is the position of your thoughts, and it's the Nine of Cups, which is about wishes. This is the wish card, okay? It's like make a wish for the future, okay? Make a wish on how you're going to invest in your future as well, because you have something wonderful coming in here. Okay, and I do see this as like the harvest, right? Being patient with the process, being patient with yourself as well. But I see that whatever you are creating, whatever you're investing in, there's still more work to be done. Okay, so the end of December, it looks like, yeah, there's, there's a harvest here. It looks like you're enjoying the abundance. There's several plates, could be food. I was kind of seeing like the food all around the Queen of Discs, like the fruits and vegetables and poultry, I guess. But so I'm seeing like there's a time of harvesting, and it's very satisfactory. It's like pleasurable. Okay, so I feel like a lot of you are going to have a really great Christmas. I think you're going to have more than enough to go around, and just being thankful for what you have and having that mindset of like gratitude. Really, just like, yes, everything that I want is all in your mind. It's all a mindset. You can be happy with very little, you can be happy with a lot, but it's just all in what you think is abundance to you, what you're labeling as being prosperous. Okay, so the shadow card is the Magician here, and this is a really good card for creating what you want. It's about acting quickly and doing several different things. A lot of you may be creating like having a creative project where you are in control of that, because I am seeing like you have both hands on the wheel here. Okay, you're really in control, and I do see like a tiny little wheel here. You are making your own change happen. You are creating your own prosperity, and you have all the tools available to you to do that. With the Magician card, it's all about creating something out of nothing, creating magic, finding pleasure in the little magical moments. Okay, so this is what I'm seeing for you for December, Leo. I'm going to pull a card on love, a message on love. Okay. It says, it's better to be hated for what you are than to be loved for what you are not. Oh, wow. That's really powerful. There is a sense of being authentic to your true nature. Yeah, there's nothing I can really like expound upon with that message. It's really a beautiful message. Being yourself will attract people that genuinely love you, instead of pretending to be something that you're not in order to gain support and approval from other people. It's better to be hated for what you are than to be loved for what you are not. Okay, Leo. This has been your 2016 review reading, and